Yo, I am Gerrard the one.
Yo, it's Kyle.
I'm Shelby Bad, and our guest for today is the lovely Miss Kelsie Joseph from the Catcalls of UWI. Welcome, Kelsie.
Hi, everyone.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we extremely happy to have you, especially discussing this topic, which affects females every day. Because Shelby was, when we were coming down the road, Shelby was telling me about how she is get catcalled like every day.
Yeah, like anytime you come out your house, it's so usual.
I just got catcalled coming up the road here to meet you all.
You serious?
Exactly.
Yeah.
What the hell is this, way?
Exactly.
What is catcalling?
Well, we know it as a suit or psst, darky, or you're looking nice. But catcalling or catcalls is like the international term. We know it as street harassment. Catcalling is basically people think it's compliments and it's our culture. If a man tells you it looks nice in the road, but it's not, it's unwanted compliments. It could be perpetrated by a man or a female. It don't have to necessarily a female gets catcalled, but mostly done to females compared to a male. And it's also done to people in the queer community as well. You know?
Do I have to run this conversation?
Why is making me nervous?
Why y'all think men catcall? What's the reason for what does go through their head when a man catcalls someone?
We should be asking all of that.
Yeah, we have some fellas, and then we should ask them that.
No, I have no idea. I don't catcall anybody, but I actually can't understand why someone would catcall somebody.
So you never
Rob
catcall?
looking like he know the
compliment
answer.
somebody.
Rob looking
Hey,
like he know
that's
the
a nice
answer.
glasses, yo. Yeah, I don't know. You look good. But I don't say like.
Yeah,
I don't
but
suit anybody.
you can
like,
you could compliment somebody, but they feel uncomfortable. Still, it's how the receiver takes
right,
it.
exactly. So they can take it as a catcall.
Well, a catcall is more determined within the streets or a public space per se than between us. Probably you say harassment.
Okay.
Yeah, like you see a stranger and you just tell she you're looking nice. So
Depend on
you giving her a good compliment,
on-
like she
Right,
looking
right.
nice, but
But it depends on how you see it too.
it's unwarranted compliments.
This on the receiver, and you could see, right? And it said, it's an unwanted compliment. Okay, so I just want to ask, if the person does it in a respectful way, do you still consider it? That's all. Listen to me. Not like they say, oh, red, that thing looking, not like that. It's
How? Give me an example.
If somebody sees you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Respectfully come and say, I get it. I not justifying nothing, but I'm not justifying nothing. I just trying to
No,
get
let's
some
give him chance to
clarific- Yeah, I just trying
explain.
to get
No, everybody
clarification
doesn't
on this,
understand
right?
what a catcall is. So.
Right. So we're not going along the basis with the darky red, not like that, right? So if let's say a guy sees you and finds you mesmerizing to the eye, appealing to the eye, right? And he comes and say, "I get it. Just want to say you look very beautiful." Respectfully, he does not mean it in no disrespect, full way, form, or fashion. But at the end of the day, he also said it's how the receiver interprets
Right.
it.
So how
right?
so somebody receives it and interprets it, they define if it's a catcall or
Okay,
not.
so for example, say you are walking on the street, and as I said, you look appealing to the eye. If a gentleman, I don't know, by the name of Rob, decides to come up to you and say, "I get a just honestly fine, you look very beautiful. Hope you have a amazing day." Would you consider it as a catcall or disrespectful?
Yeah,
just because you don't want somebody to talk to you, so you're trying to say is like, don't talk to you in general.
No.
Yes, sir.
You see how he's so dramatic? Don't talk to me, general.
Okay.
How you
So
so dramatic?
no, it's okay because a lot of people have those views too.
I know.
So it's
If
okay.
somebody come up to you respectfully, not with the intention to make
No, but
you
think
as-
about the context of prior or
I know,
what is our
happened
custom,
prior.
right? So
Yes,
whether
but
or not
this is-
somebody
that's not prior, this is
disrespectfully
currently.
or respectfully have given you compliments before, you're so accustomed to getting these kind of views and
Okay.
these compliments that it
That's
gets annoying.
So that's all. That's
Okay,
like
so,
me. That's
for
all. Wait.
example-
That's like if I go and say,
Yeah,
"Hey,"
yeah.
that's all. Wait, because I want to hear all your views on this now. So
Yeah.
that's like every time I talk and a woman goes, "Oh my god, that's your voice. Oh my god, that voice." So what's the views on that then?
Okay, so firstly,
let me go. I realize as Gerald switch and go on to different topics.
Mhm.
But
It's okay, I
no,
ramble.
we're not going
I
we're
ramble
going
a lot
back. We're going
too,
back
so I
to we're
understand
going
that.
back to the initial question at hand. Somebody just come up respectfully and say, "Hi, excuse me. I honestly find you
First
really
of
beautiful."
all, you're a stranger. I don't know you. Second of all, you're invading my space. You're going to make me feel uncomfortable and unsafe. I don't know what you can do because catcalls,
Could lead to other
it
things.
seems merely as nothing. But for example, I can't remember which part of the US, a girl like know a man catcalls and he raped her and killed her. I don't know how far I can go. When I get catcalled and sometimes it's real serious, I just walk real fast. It had a time my man tell me, walk faster. And I was like,
Yes, yeah, people
you know, that make
following
me
you.
feel so bad
Wait.
though.
So what is the best thing for
That's the
a
thing
lady
you
to
don't know. You
A man
never
cussed me
know.
out that time because
So
I
whether
didn't
you ignore
reply.
it or you take it on as pressure.
You don't know it.
Okay.
According to the person, you wouldn't know.
Okay.
So as I was saying, long story short, here, nobody
Just don't do it.
have nothing to tell you,
Don't do it.
literally. So if a
Don't.
guy likes you, know, right? What would be the most appropriate approach
Okay, so if a
for
girl
him?
likes you, what's the most appropriate approach for you?
Wait, no, I asking you a question about how
No,
you
what's
flip
the
on
most
me.
appropriate
How
approach for
flip on
you?
me, right?
No, but I want to hear your views. What's the most appropriate approach for you? If I like you now, how I approach you?
Eyes are real normal.
You see,
right?
right?
So, right. Just come out of me normal, respectfully. I don't expect a girl to come and say, "Hey, Rob, I love you." No, oh, not like, "Oh, Rob, damn, you looking." No, like, same. I come and say, "Hi, good day. I'm Kyle." You could come and introduce yourself.
Oh,
Wait,
okay.
Miss Lady, wait.
I listen, and you know, you say your thing, brother.
Right? Like the same way I say, a man could come and just introduce himself politely to you, and you said, and I quote, "I don't know what your intentions are." If the person's intentions are just pure, just merely want to be a friend to you, right? As I said, I understand where it's coming from, the whole cat calls, like, truly. But as you said, if a guy wants to approach, if he likes you, what do you think is the best way for him to approach you that you think is respectful and does not invade your privacy?
I know. Sometimes it just depends on the person. It depends on the timing. I remember a boy was messaging me a time over Instagram and he sent a meme. And he said, well, you're not going to dress me as a female, so you got to dress me as a man. I was just like, what? And
What is do these men?
I don't know. I don't know.
He said he won't address her as a female.
And I thought addressing him as a female or answer him, so you're going to DM me as a man. Like, I'm going to respond to him as a man. I'm just like, what? Like, I don't think people just think of what their words or actions could inflict upon someone else. Because I don't know how to approach a fella. I just see a fella and he just come to me afterwards.
When you wet.
You don't get them the side eye?
No, I've been realizing
Side eye?
it had a time I found a boy was nice and I DM him and said, oh, something you do seems interesting. I was just like, okay, he probably knows I like him. This is too much. I don't know. I just probably see and I was just like, that boy looking good and then eventually someone should just get
mental
him.
telepathy.
Yeah,
But
but
Rob,
they just
You have to
get him.
consider the space, eh? You're saying if a boy likes you, he like me what instantly? Like he see me on the street and he like me?
Let me be real,
Or he
right?
know me before?
When you see somebody, obviously you don't know how intelligent they are or how they care about themselves. You just find that attractive. When you go in a club, you're like,
I don't club.
something attractive about that girl. You're gonna be like, is either she here, or you have a preference, or you like them red, or like a darkie, you know? And then when you go, it comes. But why compliments always have to be sexual or pertaining to your appearance? Why it can't be like, oh, you're so smart.
Just how I supposed to know
how you care
how
about
I
yourself?
supposed to know you smart if I know seen you?
Well,
I don't talk to your face. How I supposed to do smart if I
Yeah,
know
but
seen you?
I am a firm believer. It's how you do things and how you say things.
but
And
look
your
how-
men.
Look how respectable I approached you.
If
no,
I
but
find
why
you being a
does the
hash,
compliments have to be the opener? Why you can't just
So, hi,
introduce
good day.
yourself?
Hi, good day. I'm Kyle.
No,
find
thank you. Bye.
So how you?
I was joking.
Okay, right. So as you say, why your outside appearance? You don't want the outside appearance to be the first thing someone
No,
goes
it's
at.
not that.
But at the end of the day, right? That's the first thing someone would see. Well,
That's true.
right? That's the first thing someone would see. You understand what I'm saying? As I said, they could come off to you respectfully, right?
Mm-hmm.
You look pretty today. I don't understand how that could be interpreted as being disrespectful.
Because you never lived through it. When you have to live through it and you are accustomed getting it all the time, whether or not it's respectful, it becomes annoying. It feels unsafe, and you feel like this person have ill intentions, whether or not you as the individual have ill intentions or not.
She said it correctly.
You never lived through it.
You have to walk and shoot every day.
You have to
and hear these things.
As soon as you come, when I walk out the road from my house, it have a road from my house to the gas station, straight down the street. And down that street, I just get catcalled. Me even reach out of the space, the area I am in. And that is be happening. It's annoying.
Do you all believe men get catcalled too?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you believe if men need to make the catcall an issue? No, I'm not saying that y'all are making it an issue. This is just another point, because I see some fellas on them like, yeah, bro, reason it look like
your wording of things is
right?
very problematic.
My wording of things is problematic.
It's not an issue. It's an issue.
I'm not saying no. I totally understand what you all are saying, right? But I'm saying, do you believe if men?
Because men don't talk about things that bother them. Let's be real.
I'm talking about it. They cut them off, lovey.
Sorry.
Right. But I'm saying, do you believe if men raise the issue the same way in which women raise the issue of they being catcalled, if the shoe was on the other foot, do you think society would watch it in the same light, or they would watch men as in, hey, they're just being soft, go along with it?
Yeah, but everything have a process and progress within it. If it starts now that people don't take it seriously, then it's up to people to push the ideology that, yes, this happens to men, and continue to grow that progressive idea of this happens to men. But if nobody is talking about it at all, how you expect there to be that side of the perspective?
True, but I seem that come like domestic violence, for example, right? But if men bring it up, it's always be a joke.
But that's untrue, because it's not a 0%.
It's not
There's
0%,
a progressive
vast majority
group, progressive movement, understanding that GBV does not happen to females alone.
It don't happen to females alone, but it happens mostly to females. We're not neglecting that it doesn't happen to men, right? Right. It doesn't happen to females alone, but we're not neglecting that it doesn't happen majority to them and the people of the queer community. In terms of if men, I have a few men. I have a fella at time DM the page, and I answer all the DMs and I interact with everybody. And he was just like, it's good what you're doing. You know, this happened to me, and he shared his experience. But like, be real, I don't want to be the only one calling on my brethren. It had to start somewhere.
Wow,
that's toxic masculinity.
Yeah, for sure.
Who wanna? I remember doing a popular action for a gender course, and men were saying our topic was on the bro code. So you trying to tell men how to be in the bro code? It's not even a man. I said, no, brother. You can have your bro code, no. We just want to tune it a little bit. Yeah. You know, we can at least share and cry. Nobody can call you out for it now, but because in society now, from young, I have a cousin, and I was like, my brother's like, and my other cousin's like, Jadon, why you crying? Oh, go toughen up. The neighbor last year, and I was like, Jadon is okay. You can come and tell the cousin, because we go on continue cycle. And now when men can't express themselves, that's why women fall victims. Because who they're going to put things out to? And other men and themselves.
True.
And we're not creating safe spaces. And suicide, men fall victims to suicide. They are the highest rates in suicide.
True, and I believe what you touched on could have been tied back to a previous episode we did with, what's his name again? Israel. Right? Because that's the exact same thing you was touching on, as in with men, society puts this impression on you that, okay, you're not supposed to cry about certain things, you're not supposed to express certain emotions.
Because you have to live up to the ideal toxic, the ideal masculine man.
Or what society
so anything away from that
as the masculine
so anything girly,
but
homophobic, that's why men can react to.
True, and you see, with that, there will be a disconnect when you have your child now, because you want to try to preach and practice the exact same thing. And in terms of us being too emotional, now when you have a child now, right, when you have a son, you want to try to practice the exact same thing. Hey, if you're falling, you're crying, you toughen up. No, listen to what I'm saying. The same man, as I say, men don't express themselves a certain way
Yeah.
because society paints it as in a light that you have to be this masculine, macho, G kind of guy. You understand what I'm saying? But as I was saying, this will kind of tie back into a previous episode we did, and where that will always cause issues because you're just repeating the cycle generation after generation after
That's
generation.
Mm-hmm.
You understand where I'm coming from now?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
There's a strength when you think about traditionalism versus modernity as it relates to masculine and masculine ideals, what it means to be a male, what is masculinity in itself, and is something that we working on socially. So as compared generations, you see there are differences in ideals, and you have a lot of people holding these same traditional ideals of what a man should be. You gotta be tough, you can't cry. Yeah, only for the breadwinner, so on, whatnot. And then you have other people who believe that men could have a feminine side, this, that, and the other. But it's a kind of, as I was saying before, a progressive type of ideology that we kind of playing with and stringing with now. So you will find that there are those people who are high up on that spectrum for the traditionalism. There are those who quite on the other side, that modern idea of, well, male and female, they don't really have anything that should be, saying what is feminine, what is masculine. To have people in between and to have those who slide in on the spectrum.
For example, when a man can't provide for his family, he's not a man. If you're not a breadwinner, he's not a man. You know? I remember learning sociology, a theory where...
Is that an issue though? Is something
what's
wrong
that?
with that?
If you can't provide for your family, this is the issue now. We have this idea of what a man could be, which is not should be the ideal. It probably was okay long ago, where a man's supposed to be a breadwinner, a woman's supposed to be in a house. All of that is okay if you want to be, because I'm very traditional. I don't mind being a housewife or anything.
Just slide that in.
No, I'm not. Feminism is intersectional. In terms of, no, it's okay if I want to be a housewife, if I want to be married,
So why not okay if the man say you will be a houseman?
It is okay.
It's okay. She never said it's not okay.
You're right, but
she said.
Oh, just so you
that
say that
she
you view
would
a
like
man.
that.
Listen, did you say that?
That's her choice.
Listen. I find out like you're real train with yourself at with it.
Guys, it's a discussion. I'm trying not to get
Kelsie, right? Previous, before the intermission there, did you say, right?
Yeah.
If a man cannot provide for his family, he's not a man. I just want you to tell me that's either yes or no question, if that's what they just say.
I need to finish. You didn't let me finish.
But you continue. You went and then after you said after that, if you choose you want to be a housewife, it's okay.
Right, let me finish.
Right.
Right. So the ideal man supposed to be a breadwinner and supposed to provide for his family and supposed to be the strong one, the tough one in the household, for example. Where in terms of, that's what we have been taught. That's what a man have been taught and a boy have been socialized to grow up to be. When a man cannot provide, he's not a man. Society says he's not a man, not me. Society says he's not a man. For example, I've learned that on a theory. I can't remember the name of the theory at the moment, but that's why a lot of men, in order to get to be that man, they're going to get illegal needs to meet that standard now, because they can't reach that standard they're not good with education, the environment, external factors. No, that's why a lot of men fall victims to gangs and other things like that, because of this ideal. And now we have a space where women are speaking up, feminism. And where do a man fall? Because if you're into feminine or if you're into masculine, it's like, you're not approaching girl. No, if I say this, it's like the space is changing. As she's saying, it's progressive, it's changing, it's dynamic, it's revolutionizing. Where do a man fall now? And that's where it's tough for you guys now. Because where is you have to be? Do you have to be the ideal man, or you have to be now where you have to be considerate to women's feelings, or you have to be equal now? It's tougher for y'all. And now that y'all are still trying. I remember 2 of my friends called and they had a big conversation. Kelsie, what you doing is okay, but I still go on cat call woman if I drunk, whatever. But Kelsie, like, be real now. I don't want to be weak, Girl, we just suffer in silence, but I'm not gonna say nothing about it.
Yeah.
And then we're going just, where do y'all fall?
cycle continues.
So what I always say, a lot of people think feminism is against men, but I think if we create spaces where we can help men, where we could teach men this is not the ideal of a man. A man is what you want a man to be, not what society say you how to be.
Right, so
And if
to me, that ties with individualism. A previous episode in which we was talking about, right? It's about knowing yourself and know that you said based on society norms or ideals that what they place a man on, okay, you might go and look to get to that level by doing illegal needs and whatnot, right? First of all, that is not every man.
It's not every man.
That's not every man, right? So it come like, you can't say, okay, all men going to do some men, and that has other factors that ties into it that would lead to a man going down that road if you're from a certain environment. And again, it depends who you associate yourself with.
A product of environment?
Yeah, a product of environment, a product of people, as I said, who you associate yourself with. So if you line with fellows who on gang-related stuff, selling drugs, all that, it's a strong possibility. And you watching and you seeing they making it on that level, it's a strong possibility.
My father and I were having this conversation.
Right? It have a strong, if you don't have the strong mindset to pull yourself away from that and try to become something without falling into that realm, you either going to fall into it or not peer pressure into it at the end of the day. But again, that goes back to who you associate yourself with, the environment, and the most important thing, your mindset. Right?
I agree with you to an extent because like I was coming up with the Max and a man was talking about he was trying to convince me to go vote and go vote for PNM. And I was just like, I still not getting persuaded.
I know. We don't associate politics
not
on
political,
this.
but I see. And he was saying, and I was just talking about what happened with the 3 men that got killed. And I was saying, like, I don't condone violence and all of that. But now we're talking about men with choices and external factors and stuff as that. But when you talk about choice, I feel like everybody do have choice. You are granted choice, what to do, what not to do, what is wrong, what is right. We are taught from a young age. But some people's choices are limited. When somebody's choice come limited, because things are not shared equally or equitably, what do we say about that? What are we doing about that in terms of that?
I think she said it best, and that was the word I wanted to use. I feel like we are in an environment of this looming concept of choice itself, right? And as I said before, there's the traditionalism, there's the modernity, and there's the in-between. It's a whole spectrum. And we, in an environment where we're trying to change a lot of ideologies, a lot of people trying to hold on to some, we're trying to create new ones. We're trying to find middle grounds, side grounds, backgrounds, up and down, in and around, right? So choice becomes very important. Because she said before, she don't mind being a housewife. But people will say, but how you gonna be a feminist
and
want equality and choose to be a housewife?
Right.
You could be a housewife and you have all the rights you have all the opportunities to do other things, but you choose to be that.
And you know what makes me a feminist? Because I chose to be a housewife. It wasn't that I have to be a housewife long ago, and I had no choice. That's the big difference now.
That is the importance of the difference.
Choice is like the most important thing. Just remember, that's one thing you always have. Choice.
And not even choice alone, is whether or not you have the choice. And if it's made for you.
I think the feeling we're ganging up on that.
You don't think we have too many choices?
What's the too many choices?
Like, as in too many options as to choose what a man should be choosing what you...
But it's the same thing for women. It's the same thing for being successful. Same thing for a lot of concepts. And that's the environment that we live in now.
And we as young people have the choice to change it. We don't have to take that anymore. We have the choice.
If you find that problematic, you have the ability now in this environment to start to swirl things up.
And the thing with our generation, I love... We don't take something and sit with it like our fathers and mothers and grandparents. We're like, questioning it now. We are being educated. We're not even taking what we are learning in school as the right thing. We are questioning it, and that's good about our generation.
But that's what is so heavy for us. We have so much responsibility.
In terms of...
I actually wouldn't say that. I find that, I understand there's certain norms and things that we would act on, or we wouldn't do certain things because you question it, but I find a lot of majority of children is really passive with a lot of things, right?
The Caribbean is.
We talk the Caribbean, the whole world by extent when it comes to certain things, but I find a lot of children passive about certain things because you'll talk, we'll just wait. We will talk about certain things. We don't like this, and we don't like that, and we'll talk about it. But when it comes time to take actions for certain things, or let's just talk, right? It has certain things you as an individual might stand up for and against. For example, what you're doing about now. A lot of people might have the same views as you, right?
Yeah.
And the same way you say you got bashed from certain people's and whatnot. Right? It have a lot of people might have the same views, but they are just passive with it because they don't want to. That's not your shaky. That's not weird. I'm not saying everybody, mom, listen to me. I'm not just be saying this. I'm not be saying this just based on catcalls. I talk about in general.
Yeah.
Right? And understand we say, like, yes, we as the younger generation making certain moves in regards that we don't think along the same lines as the old heads. That is true in regards to certain things, right? However, Trinidadians as a society, a lot of us are passive with certain things, right? Gerrard, would you like to add to this?
No, not with the way they're watching us.
There's some live.
I'm not even watching nobody. I watching.
Nah, I don't have anything to that.
Okay, guys, so we have some live studio.
Making a generalization about Trinidadians as a whole, saying that they are passive is irresponsible.
Not every Trinidadian.
You said Trinidadians and you said the word general.
Okay. Let me correct myself.
Let me finish.
I'm trying to correct myself.
That's irresponsible. Don't try to correct yourself and
you can't say don't try to correct myself. If I corrected myself, before you go down that road, I'll try to let you don't have to go down that road, so I'm gonna correct myself, right? So you trying to tell me that majority of the society not passive. How much things has happened and we just talk and do act upon it? I see my boy, it's other fellas here agreeing with my fellas, right? We just pass our mic. Do you all agree with what I just say? I'm not going against what they say, no. But I just saying, right? That we as a society look at it from a broader perspective, not just this topic we're touching on here, right?
I agree with you.
We need to be the change in certain things.
In
we will
terms
talk
of
about it,
that,
but we allow a lot of things to just happen to us.
And then tomorrow, right? A week from now,
exactly. You see,
but what I will say is that it have a lot of people who is not passive.
Yes, has a lot of people,
and those are the people
passive, but
who going to encourage other people to use their voices.
You still can't say majority because you not exposing yourself to what is happening within Trinidad and Tobago. There's a lot of movement and action being done.
True.
Yes, people could be more aggressive as a society. If you want to generalize, yes, we could be more aggressive and less passive. But
what
you
are we
cannot say
doing?
majority
Have a lot
of
of people
Trinidad
doing
and
stuff
Tobago
too.
passive. You need to expose yourself to what is happening within the society.
Right. You need to expose yourself to what's happening in society, but a lot of people are passive because they are not exposing themselves to what is happening in society, even though, yes, it have an uprising with a lot of other groups that are coming along. For example, Shelby, what you would do, right? I know, right? Catcalls, this is just examples of.
But have a lot of groups that probably don't aware of.
I know it have a lot of groups more than it had before. But how I would watch it, a lot of things we just allow certain things to generally happen. You'll talk a big talk, not you'll actually taking a stand for certain things.
Do you talk and then shut down?
No, if I talk about something,
are you aggressive in promoting change in different specs? And because the thing about it too, what I think is that there are so many issues and problems to address. There are a lot of things that we could be tackling aggressively that you just don't know about, and the things that we are passive about, that's the ones that you see, and that's why you say we're not aggressive about it. This environment and this society is so packed and we have so many responsibilities that a lot of times you think that we work forward to and being aggressive. Yes, we trying. But then you're like, wait, all Trinidadians, we passive about this issue and that issue. That time to have people dedicating their lives for years.
Or a lot of Trinidadians be like, this more important. Well, you do something about it if you find that more important.
You have an input on there. Yeah, jump in, jump in the free.
Come on this one.
No, you gotta be on the side with the dogs. Come on, do we do it,
Hey everybody, Anias. So the topic is essentially it has to do with it started with catcalling.
Yeah.
It went away from that.
It went away from that. Now, when it is you say the lot of Trinidad is very passive. Now, I myself I support that. The reason why it is I would say I support that is because we have a lot of issues that we need fixing. We have a lot of issues that we know need fixing. Now, and I understand that there are a lot of movements, but the passive people do not support these movements. And when it is you have those people that do not support the movements, it leads to a lot of these situations just kind of dwindling away. All right, we have so much issues with regards to just the society on its own with regards to respect for women. We don't have any sort of respect for women, and that's something that we need to fix. True. And it's something that when it is you address it with a lot of the older folks, it's just like, oh, well, that's just the way how I am. And they carried that sort of mindset onto their own children. And something that Justin was saying in the car coming up, he was like, we as young people in this country, we keep on saying that, oh, we're not the same as our parents, we're not the same as our grandparents, but we're still making the same mistakes. And we're still being young and naive and ignorant about the fact that we still repeating the same things. And that kind of comes from a lack of knowledge. Because of the people don't know the history, they don't know what they're doing right now is the exact same thing as before. So, yes, I would say that a lot of the people in Trinidad
could catcalling be our culture?
I believe that it's people think it is our culture. When we're talking about when we got the intermission with some women actually like being catcalled. I know some females think it's okay because it's the norm.
It's so normal.
We are accustomed to it, but it's not right.
It's not right.
It's not right. And we have been socialized thinking, well, when you look nice, if a man tell you two words on the street, well, something wrong.
Yeah.
True.
And in terms of what you were saying, I will say that a lot of people with movements and anything with change, they always want to, like some people always ask me, Kelsie, what do you want out of this? Was the end catcalling? But the ultimate goal of Chalkback is to end catcalling. But to me, is like, if I could have a discussion with all of you here today and one person could take away something from it, you could tell somebody else and it could have a domino effect. Sometimes people think change is this big society changing. To me, change is one person. One person doing something and then one person passing and so on. So we're saying that a lot of people are passive, which is true. We're not going to change the whole world. Let's be real. Let's be realistic.
I want to read something, a post from Catcalls of UWI. From as early as 11, we learned that we can be referred to more names than our own. Smally, Reds, Darky. You feel it too nice or ugly? You have a man. Some say it's okay because that is we culture. The way men learn to use their words as stones to throw, expect them to skip and land softly through their hot breath and laser eyes. The first time my 11-year-old student told me a man said nasty things to her while she was in uniform, my blood curdled, stuck to the roof of my skin. I felt the words escape me. A couple boys in the class asked why she cared and said, that is normal thing, miss. That is we culture. Plus, them girls like it. It took everything out of me to respond in love and understanding. These boys were also 11 and 12 years old. The Caribbean has done a great job at plastering the word culture over.
Yeah, so that was written by Ashley Burnett. She's a spoken word artist, and she also runs a page called Femininity, where Kylie should follow. You will see a lot of other people doing work as well. And she's very she puts out information on a lot of different topics.
I never said that. I'm not guilty. Sure, no, you see. No. She quote just so we don't know it's not a she quote my woman name too, so I had to clarify that. I never said people was not doing work. I never said people was not doing work.
No, but I'm saying that she does great work on her page and she educates.
Ashley
I like reading.
Bennett.
Yeah. And she wrote that, and we had done a virtual Chalkback event, but due to the COVID and everybody inside and stuff, it normally have a day we recognize and stuff. So instead of they did it virtually, and I got her to read a poem that she did way long, like Life in Leggings, and she did for the 2 Cents movement or something like that, and it's still relevant today. It's timeless because we are still experiencing these things, and I will say that we have made it and think it's our culture, but it's not. It's probably our culture, but it's not right. It needs to change. And what are we going to do about it?
All right, so something that we don't realize, all right, when it is you bring up culture and tradition, is that, for example, being on the side of the road is also something that we do. You know, we do it a lot. But
That's
that
illegal in
means-
the States.
Littering.
That's in the States, yeah, but we're not that progressive down here. So when it is you look at all of that and you think to yourself, that's something that a lot of us do. That's something that parents tell the young children to do. Oh, well,
Socialize
you have a toilet, just use the side of the road.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but that's
He's
not
a
our
boy,
culture.
so nobody go notice. Company.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that's not our culture. It's something that we do, but it's not our culture. You know, so when it is with regards to catcalling, I wouldn't necessarily call it a culture. It's just something that we need to get by. When it is you look at other countries, you see, because it have development phases. And to me, I feel like Trinidad, the mindset that we have, it's kind of, it's below a certain development point.
Well, I would say it's our culture because it happens globally. So that means it would be our culture.
But then it's not
something
we culture. You know?
Right. But what I would say is we culture because a lot of people think it's our culture. That's the way we just express our normal compliments.
But in terms of this, you need to think about what is culture itself. Culture defined in the simplest way is the way of our life of people, right?
Yeah, not living.
Which means is norms and traditions, regularity. And if catcalling is something we as if you just say women alone and you say catcalls, you're accustomed to that. That means it's a norm.
Yeah. It's
Whether
so
or not it's
normalized
a
within
good
our
thing,
society.
Oh, bad thing.
A culture.
good thing or bad thing, it's still a
don't have to be
cultural
good or
point.
bad. A norm could be something good or bad.
Mm-hmm.
And norms change.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
norms
Understand that,
no
yeah.
longer fit the society or the people, it change.
Yeah,
It come
the
out.
new ones.
It come out faced.
Yeah,
And that's why
you know?
culture changes as
Yeah.
time
Time.
goes.
Right.
So I would still say it's part of our culture.
yeah.
It's part of our culture that we need to
And
change.
then you have to notice catcalling varies from culture to culture because a part of being a part of Chalkback, it have like 150 accounts, and like when people give their different scenarios, how it happens, it's always a little different in terms of it, you know.
Would you say that would you say that we are more aggressive?
No.
I would say in other countries
No.
where girls face it way worse in terms of girls are raped, girls are their genitalia, thing and stuff. So it varies.
There's a country that people actually kidnap women. Like you see her, and then you and your brethren plan to kidnap her and force her
That's
to get
up-
married one time.
That's other in Indians.
Big man thing.
But then the question then comes, how do we solve this issue?
That's the thing with having conversations like this, speaking up,
But
you know,
but
educating
then-
other people,
So all right, for example,
pulling up your brethren.
pulling up my brethrens. I have no friends now. So so when it is you look at, because recently we had a bunch of cases with regards to like rape allegations on social media.
I saw that.
Right. And then in that case, because of how Trinidad is, it just resulted in nothing.
Well, first of all, our commissioner of police had his ramshop talk. A lot of people were
Because of the
disappointed on the
culture of the
timeline.
country. So it's like, so then if
In
something like that could be
in
looked
the
like
nature
that.
of the allegations were on a fake page. So you don't know what is credible, which is understandable. But you can't tell me, for example, one boy, 4 girls is calling him out and not an
Yeah.
investigation. And
In detail
the commissioner
situation.
of the commissioner of police is going to say, come better than that ramshop talk. And then people we want that to represent us.
But then, but that's the thing. So if something like that now in this country can be viewed as rum shop talk, then how do we fix all of like because I mean in that kind of ties into catcalling as well. Because
yeah, it is.
some men, when it is they catcall
A lot of
and
people
then they
don't realize
get aggressive.
catcalling
That's
is
not. I'm
linked.
finish.
Yeah.
So when it is they start no. Oh god. Right. And when it is they get aggressive sometimes. That is the thing that they then turn to because they then think to themselves, oh well, I am entitled to this person. So
Yeah.
we really need to find a way to fix, because yes, talks help, but we need to find more things to do. We need to find a way to approach the people that could make the changes and actually say, yo, we need to get this fixed. We need to get legislation for this. We need to actually have these things taken seriously, because if it is we just keep dealing with this on our level, we can't, like, if it is somebody rape somebody, you can't really take out justice on them because it have little to nothing you can do about it. And that's where I feel like we as a generation need to address. Yeah, we need to do more in that case.
I agree with you definitely. Before I cut you off, I was gonna
No,
say
yeah,
catcalling is linked to gender-based violence and violence on the whole. It leads to rape. It leads to domestic violence. It's simple as
is catcalling like the first step towards it?
you can say that. As may as you think is just compliment, it's not. It leads to more. And a lot of people think rape and stuff like that is just like is for sex, but actually is a form of control. You know, people exercise, right? It's something that probably you dealing with, and just a form of control. I remember watching Dr. Phil, and he expressed that. Also, in terms of the legislation, when the commissioner of police said they answered this rum shop talk, how are we going to trust the police? How are we going to trust the laws now that will protect our women and protect people like queer community and stuff, or girls, or even men? Because a lot of men, I know, I had one of my family members saying, you know, when we was younger, you know, this happened to me, and I was just like, what?
Yeah.
We couldn't touch you, and it's just like, yeah, but I never really tell nobody, because you know that kind of like, you know, that gay, and I mean, and it's just like a lot of people go quiet and silent about it.
I see you also have a lot of stalker posts too. How I didn't even know that. Yeah, like or like stories with persons being stalked on at Catcalls of UWI. I think I probably see one or two.
Like, no, but
Yeah.
I mean, in that way, it doesn't really diminish it. It's just like, it have stalkers in this country, bro. I assure you, like, people, yeah, it have it. And
Well, it's not like you've been stalked before.
Nah, you see, because I talk to a lot of people, so I've heard stories about it, and it's like, it's really trippy, because you think to yourself, like, Trinidad, bro? Trinidad has stalkers, you know, but I assure you,
everywhere. So
yeah.
Trust
Has
me, it
anybody
happens to all
here
of
been
us.
stalked?
I don't know. I don't know if this counts as stalking. The boy who sexually assaulted me recently just popped back up and came into my house.
Yes.
I had to say,
that is stalking.
I had to say, but my dad never knew that happened to me.
Wow.
So my dad is just like, I think Kelsie inside sleeping, I know. And the
What
boy was just
kind
like, you remember I was so and so. And my father's like, yeah, I remember, yeah. And he come in, and my auntie was just like, that boy touched Kelsie inappropriately. And my father's like, what are you talking about? And I was just like, and then he came again and called my cousin to say, you and Kelsie don't lie. And I'm just like,
I think that's probably stalking.
No, that's
Yeah,
stalking.
I think that's
That's
stalking.
definitely
but the thing
stalking.
is, I don't even talk to you on social media. I don't interact with you. I don't know what made you feel so comfortable to come at my house after 11 at night to say you passed to
All
check
right.
me.
Nah, yeah,
Mike,
that's
I'm
stalking.
Yeah.
no blows in pass, nothing. No blows. He just make it out normal.
See, this is why I can't.
No, my auntie got really
have
vexed
a
and went
daughter.
outside.
I would beat people.
And I was
I
just
can't
like,
say, yeah.
you know, it's just like, I don't want nothing happen to you. I never wanted nothing. I never spoke about it. All I just always wanted was just when you see me in public, do like you and see me. Pass me like a bus. That's all I wanted, to be honest, with the whole situation.
I get chopper boy.
Yeah, facts.
I get chopper boy. Like, I can't. No boy, because
True.
no, no boy. I can't handle that, because it's like a lot of these fellas, they come from broken homes, and something that you see as well with regards to the recent cases is that people mother came out and defended them, and it's
My
like,
son would not do that.
all you're just perpetuating this kind of
Yep,
behavior.
exactly.
You know, all you're
Even in
allowing
terms
it
of
to happen.
Right? Even in terms of that, you don't remember allegation is an allegation till proven guilty. But I feel like people on the whole, their words are so unkind. Like to the victims, like, okay,
Yeah.
my brethren been called out. Well, say something nice now. Or what if you have nothing to say something nice now? No, my brethren would never do that.
boy.
And then some people want to come with
That
that kind of way, like
well,
I was there and I saw and I didn't say nothing before, but I'm saying and I'm taking a stance on this. Women lives matter. We need to treat women better, and it's just like, what? Like, if you have nothing to say, I don't know how some people just go on the internet and just
Keyboard
just
warriors,
just
keyboard
like-
warriors.
Because
Yeah.
at the
Like,
time
I know
it
everybody have
accepted.
their freedom of speech, but some people just be really mean with it to us.
Yeah.
Like really mean with it.
And I
And some
think
people are like
it's a
really mean when those
stigma.
allegations come out. And I was just like,
It's
wow.
a stigma because everybody just, and then people still have that mindset like, oh, well, why you was there? You know, why
Yeah.
you was in that position for
Yeah,
that
why
to
you put
happen.
yourself-
It was
yeah.
wearing-
People still,
remember
people
people
still
Still think
thinking,
like that. A lot of people are
If I
still think
flirt
people
like
in
still
that,
thinking
that
to
means
themselves.
that you are allowed to rape me.
And
because
I
No,
remember,
it
I
doesn't.
remember people
It
asking me why I
doesn't.
didn't say no, Kelsie, or why I didn't stop it. I said,
Fam, it
all
don't work like that.
Yeah.
I said I was
Because
saying no, and I was
somebody-
crying, and well,
Let
it
me
didn't
say-
stop.
Let me say, for example, she said no, and then homeboy get vexed and he
Yeah,
started beating.
it's some hard
And he
slap.
still go ahead. It's like it have so much things in place. And with his fellas, and this is where it is, I believe, and something that we haven't heard about as yet, is you need to have sexual education in schools. Because it have a lot of fellas in certain schools that just believe that they just entitled to women because of where it is they come from. You know, because of that background that they come from, because they come from money. You know,
But,
fam.
true.
And in
we
terms
need
of
to have
this,
those
in
kind
terms
things.
of people think consent is a yes or no answer, and consent goes way
No.
beyond
Yeah,
that.
for
Consent
sure.
is
It's
Yes
really
or
not
no.
true.
I can agree
True.
to meet up somebody here, and I go say, and when I reach,
Yeah,
I mean, the
like you
dialogue.
could even be,
You know?
sometimes you could even be like within the act, and then the person starts feeling uncomfortable
Yeah,
because
the
of
vibe
something.
is changed, yeah, for
And
sure.
then
And the
you
vibe changed.
yourself as the fella, you had to stop and be like, yo,
yeah, but it don't
Whoa,
only
you
happen.
okay?
Yeah, exactly.
Even when girls show themselves on fellas have a right to say no. Fellas like, I go actually say no, I go back down.
it's
Well,
respectful.
you know you
that
have a
next
right
thing-
to say no, you
But
know?
that next thing too, because then it has some women who does approach fellas, and then when they
people.
approach them and they brace them, they'll be like, "Wham to you, you gay out." And that in itself could play on certain
I
fellas' minds too.
remember a fella telling a girl on my work, my thing is a pedestal, right? And you can't get through this girl.
Fuck.
Wait.
What
Wait.
Tim Calabar.
Man, I feel
But I think sex ed in schools should be mandatory.
Right, so Kelsie, how did cat calls come about?
Well, Catcalls of UWI started.
This man is an actor.
Intermissions is really fun. Intermissions is really fun.
Yes. So
So basically, when I started UWI in semester 1, semester 2, year 1, we had to do a popular action. We had to do something on a men issue. It was a agenda course called Men and Masculinities. And that's when I was talking about the bro code. So we did a popular action on the bro code, and we didn't want to change up the bro code, but we wanted to just have an alternative bro code. So we did a activity with chalk on the ground where you had to jump, like throw a big dice. I had created a big dice, and like the lecturers and participants and people in UWI just like real amazed. So they struck on the ground and this big dice. But we have always been following Tia and I. Tia is the next co-founder, Tia Marie and I. Cat Calls of NYC is always like, wait, this real cool. This girl Sophie real cool.
What?
And then Tia and I DM me and say, we should just do this in Trinidad. And I say, nah, we should do it on UWI. Like we are part of the Institute of Gender and Development Studies, and we are part of a mentorship program where we just learn education and activism through outreach activities, whether on campus or off campus. And I was just like, no, we should. And we went and speak to someone called Renuka, and then we did up a proposal, and the head of gender and everybody else loved the idea, and it's a big thing on UWI now. It's a movement. I was so surreal, but it was an inspiration. It wasn't like we came up with the idea. It was something that was inspired from Catcalls of NYC. Sophie started it, and she have inspired other young females like myself, even men as well. It have like 150 catcalls I count around the world. I'm in a catcalls of youth. They call themselves the Truckback community, and I've made so much friends. Like on Wednesday coming, I have a interview. Like one of them is in part of the UN, and they asked me to speak on like what we do and how Catcalls of UWI is different. Well, our Catcalls of UWI is way different from the others because we are on a campus, a university, and plus it's not many active accounts in the Caribbean. I think we're the only active account right now. It have one in Jamaica, it have one in Haiti, but we're the only active account now. So that's how it started up.
Okay, nice. So have you spoken to Sophie directly?
Sophie's my personal friend.
Oh, she's your personal friend?
Yeah, I have on WhatsApp.
Nice.
She just messaged me yesterday. No, this is today. I didn't reply back to us as we ran an errand.
So
So
they're being strong.
it's very strong.
Nice.
Sophie's my girl.
You have any what was I gonna ask? Oh my god. I think I forget, actually. But yeah, guys, this is wrapping up catcalling, which is episode 16, I think. Whether you get catcalled a lot like Rob and I, by the female cats that is, or if you sorry, my bad. yeah. Yeah, this is catcalling episode 16. I am Gerrard the one.
I'm Kyle, also known as Rob.
I'm Shelby out and bad, and our guest for today was Kelsie Joseph. We thank you for being here.
Thanks, Yellow.
It was a good one. Remember, guys, to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and all the other platforms. Visit us at www.theculturetribe.com and find all our platforms in which our podcast is. And also subscribe to our YouTube channel. Comment down below and feel free to leave your feedback on all platforms that we are on. We thank you again, Kelsie, for being here. Go check out their page, Catcalls of UWI, and we'll see you next time. That's the Vibe Tribe.
Yeah.
Later.
I just see it right there.
I ran off camera, you know.